That's right, it is the afternoon show, live at McGurk's in Horsham. It is Birds Town Hall, all presented by NovaCare Rehabilitation. Elliott Shore-Parks is live at the Surfside Free Agency desk. Elliott, the league year is officially open, so you can finally do some work.
The Eagles have announced Saquon.
Wow!
It's official, yeah. Welcome to the city of brotherly love, Saquon, from the Eagles.
We are. That's Elliott Shore-Parks. Spike Eskin's down from New York. What's happening, Spike?
What's up, Jack? What's up, Ike?
What's up, Spike?
Elliott over there.
What up?
Yeah, at the kids' table.
He's the reason I sit here for 12 hours.
It is his fault.
His baby.
It was my idea, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you look at all the attention you get
I love
over
it.
there.
I
You love it.
My favorite day of the year.
And also joining us for this hour is, I want to formally introduce him as WIP's Insider of the Year.
Oh, God.
Howard Eskin. I mean, what a run for the King. What a run. Welcome in, Howard.
The year is only 3 months
Yep.
old.
Well, who's getting more scoops than the King these days?
Yeah, but what have you guys forgotten all the other years?
Nah, this
Well,
is
yeah.
different.
Yeah,
actually
the other years
did.
were uneven.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're up and down.
Yeah.
You're up and down. This has
okay.
been like a consistency. You're like LeBron.
Been on that. God, you
Who?
know he does not want to be compared to him.
No, please.
You were like a volume scorer before. Lot there, someone in, someone did. But so far this year,
I don't know about that.
You're doing great, Howard. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's another day in paradise. Being here at McGurk's and hanging out with all my pals. Oh, my gosh.
Doesn't get much better, does it, King?
No, it does not. It does not.
Does Jason Kelce owe it to the Eagles to come out of retirement and join this team?
You're kidding, right?
No, listen, it's time, pal. Look at Saquon's here. It's go time.
Now, once you make the decision, you've shut it off.
I disagree. You know what I think could
Shocking.
happen? Well, here's the thing. Imagine, he's what, 35 years old?
I think
Something
he's
like that?
He's 37,
Okay.
right?
So most people, most guys in their career at that point are just getting into the prime of their career. They're not playing sports, right? So you have 30 more years of work ahead of you, maybe 40 more years of work ahead of you. To be done at that age, everybody says they want to spend time with their family. Look, what is stopping you from spending time for your family when you're playing football? I don't know. He only plays one game a year. I just think there's going to be a point at which one game a week. There's going to be a point at which
Chauncey.
I'm not saying for sure he will come back, but I am saying there's going to be a point this year where everybody else is playing football. His friends are playing football. He's watching it on TV.
His brother.
His brother's going to be playing football, and what he's going to be at home.
Doing a podcast.
He's
Waiting on Travis for the podcast.
Look, maybe he has a post-football career that will fulfill him, that will fill every day. You know, like you.
Like me,
Yeah,
yes.
5 days a week. But doing a podcast once a week and being on Sunday Night Football does not fill up your entire week. So I guess all I'm saying is it's possible, and he retired while he was still really, really good. I'm not saying it is likely, but you have to allow for the possibility that at some point, 5 weeks into the season, there's a big injury, whether it's with the Eagles or the team, and the Chiefs, and somebody with a relationship calls him. There's no way that he doesn't at least think about it. When you heard him talking about it, even on the podcast, like he obviously slaved over this decision. It wasn't easy. I'm not saying he definitely comes back, but would anybody be shocked if he came back week 6 or something like that to play for a team?
I'd be shocked
I
if he
think I
played for
kinda would
another
be.
team.
Other than the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised. Definitely on the higher level of surprise. He's been thinking about this for 2 to 3 years.
Sure. And even when he did the Amazon thing, he thought that was going to be, with the documentary, he thought it was going to be his last year.
But it's not one night that you're working, because if you're working a game, you're working 2 or 3 days to prepare for the game. You go to the city, you talk to the players, you do the production thing.
You're just trying to stick up for your sideline job in that one.
No, it's just...
Make us think he's working.
Well,
Yeah,
he's not
come
going to work the sidelines. But there's just no way. He wakes up every morning after a game now, can barely get out of bed.
Sure.
Can barely get out of bed.
Yep.
I couldn't
He
tell
wants
he's sitting on flaming tables.
Yeah, Howard.
He looks fine.
Well, but he's not there for 60 minutes or whatever.
Tell me
amount of
this.
plays.
Tell me this. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he wakes up not playing football. What does his day look like?
Well, if he wants to, he can go down to the Eagles and work with those guys.
Okay. Well, then that would be, but he doesn't
wants
have
to
that.
do that?
There's no fulfillment there.
Well, yes, there is, because he was thinking about being a coach, and his brother asked me to talk him out of it.
Well, thank God that happened. I said, thank God that happened. That
I
he's
know
not
he
trying
can't
to be a coach.
Can't be a coach.
Was he going to be head coach?
No. First of all, you got to be an intern when you first go in there.
You need CEO skills to be head coach around here.
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah.
No offensive prowess at all.
He's not coming back.
It could happen.
Yeah, and and I could go out there and try out for the team.
Well,
Please, it's you know what?
yeah,
I knew this was going to happen. That we were going to disagree about something.
that's okay.
Well, yeah, that's why you're here.
Yeah, that's
Well,
okay.
yeah, it's
I'm just
just-
saying it could happen.
Well, I mean, unless you got inside information you want to us today.
Yeah, insider of the year.
Well, you know what? so we can put this nonsense to rest.
I thought I would never be on the air 5 days a week again, and here I am.
Here he is.
Here I
I'm
am.
not so sure about that. When you started doing the podcast, you got all those dope crimes.
Did you ever listen to an episode of the Ricky Howard?
Yes, I have one.
Because it was the one you were on.
Probably.
Well, yeah, I
You were
guess-
on one.
Yeah, when you did it live.
No. When you on Father's Day once, we had you
Oh,
and we had
okay.
Mike Stad
Oh,
on.
that's
Didn't
touching.
Didn't
Yeah.
I come down to one at the Electric Factory?
Yeah,
you
but
were
we-
throwing Kool-Aid packets.
Yeah,
at
we
people.
didn't put you on.
That was at Xfinity, I think he was throwing the Kool-Aid around.
He throws
Yes.
Kool-Aid
Yeah.
at all the
Oh,
events.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
could
the-
bring that back if they take Kool-Aid in the kiss during the first round.
The lottery party, the Ponzi scheme party. That did all.
3,000 people showed up for me. How many showed up for you?
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Wow.
I sold a lot of tickets.
65,000 every Sunday.
to boo you in a Cowboys jersey, Cowboys starter jacket, by the way.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
what they
matter.
did.
All reactions, good reaction.
Yeah.
Spike, Saquon Barkley is an Eagle. Obviously, you obviously being engrossed in the New York market the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Is Saquon cooked?
I hope not.
Well, yeah.
I don't. He didn't look cooked to me last year. When he was healthy the last 2 years, when he was playing, he looks awesome. We were talking about it last week. Honestly, he is as good a runner as there is in the NFL when he is healthy. The beginning of last year, he looked great. And honestly, after he got hurt last year, and he knew he only had the 1-year deal, and knew that they weren't going to give him a long-term deal, he may have stayed out an extra game or two last year, made a business decision
Sure.
on that. So the thing that worries me is not whether he looked cooked last year, because and I don't think they're the same player, but the Cowboys guy they signed, what's his name? When Chip was
DeMarco
signed.
Murray.
DeMarco Murray didn't look cooked the year before either. The thing is that all of a sudden one
or
year,
the year after.
all of a sudden there's 1 year where they don't look the same as they looked the year before. And he's had a few injuries. He's been playing on bad turf for 6 years. And when he plays, they use him a lot. So one of these years, he's not going to look like he did the year before. Last year, he looked great to me.
And the one thing that's going to happen, despite what John Ritchie thinks and wants, saying he's going to run the ball until the ball's flat. No, he's not. I mean, what a ridiculous.
All right.
Don't make him cry again.
Yeah.
No, but, you know what? Maybe he should cry over that. If he gets an average of 15 carries a game, that's it. But he's going to catch the ball. He'll be the third leading receiver on this football team.
Probably,
and that's
yeah.
that's what they want out of their backs. You don't want to wear them out running the football. You just want them in open space. That's all.
And also, he caught 91 balls his rookie year. He's been playing with bad quarterbacks, most of his career. I think he could certainly catch more balls than he caught before. The worry to me is not this year. The worry to me is the second year. And by the way, that's when the cap hit is, $11 or $12 million.
So the
second
cap
year.
hit in the second year, I believe, is around $15 million. They could
Right.
get that lower, but you would have to then essentially extend him for another year or two to do that. So, yeah, it's basically a 2-year deal if they want, and then they can obviously add to it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's just.
So here's my
you
question.
never know
though.
when a running back is going to just.
Here,
And it could be anybody.
my worry is that if we were sitting here doing this show on Monday, and it was announced on Monday that the Dallas Cowboys signed Saquon Barkley to a 3-year, $36 million deal with $28 million guaranteed, we would laugh at them. We would make fun of them
If who did it?
if the Cowboys did it.
I don't know about that.
Oh, that's true. There's nobody sitting here, especially you, who would say, yes, the Eagles should go out and spend that much money on a running back, a 27-year-old running back. There's no way you would say that. That is not to say that it might not work, but there's no way that you spend $17 million a year on an edge rusher that plays 40% of the snaps and a 27-year-old running back who has been used heavily over 6 years and spend that much money on him. We would have made fun of those moves. I'm not saying they can't work out and then they're not good players, but if that happened to another, that's my concern. My concern is that I'm letting my excitement over the skills of those players like overtake the reason that I would show a week before.
Yeah, I understand that, and I agree with you. I think people would be critical of it if we watched a rival of ours, and he gave a great example, the Cowboys, make this move. But I'll say this. I'm a little surprised at the amount of money he got, but I'm not surprised at the interest because I think he's a fantastic player when he's healthy, and I can envision what he can do in this offense. I was just, and we talked about this last week, I was pleasantly surprised that the Eagles were in on him as early. When your dad reported that, I was like, well, if Howard is saying that, then this has to be true that they are definitely in.
Especially when D. Gunn.
Because I know Howard is anti-running back. So
D who?
no, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Come on.
Yeah,
he didn't ask to be involved in that. That was me. Yeah.
So, but I know how Howard feels about the running back position or what have you. So when I heard him report that, I was like, oh yeah, this can happen. This can happen.
Here's what the Eagles can do, and
I think it's a great move.
They're pretty sharp at it.
Expensive.
They know they're paying more for a position they never paid for that much money, but they have the room to do it. And I think
Well, it might cost them some defensive players, though.
Yeah,
but they have the room where the Cowboys, they had so much room. Their big signing was a
Right,
long snapper.
but Elliott says this too. But if that's the case, then why are we talking about trading Hassan Reddick? Why are we talking about trading?
I think it's a good question. I don't know if that's financial.
Xavier McKinney, why aren't we? If they have all the room in the world,
financial.
yeah, there's just and eventually, no matter how much there's cap space,
Cowboys, because obviously, that's the rival. People make fun of them. But let's say the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs.
Be a great move for the Bills.
I think we would sit here and go, well, you have a chance to win the Super Bowl and you have a great quarterback. Now we can debate that with the Eagles, obviously. But I'm just saying, the Eagles, I think, are one of the teams that it makes sense. Had the Giants paid him, that would have been dumb. That makes no sense. But when you look at the cap space, I do think they are one of a handful of teams that are able to take on this type of player in running back, in contract.
It's a great point he brought up. I didn't mean to cut you off, Howard. But the idea that if Saquon goes to Buffalo or if he goes to Baltimore, say he signs with Cincinnati, then I view that signing differently. I view that as them giving their quarterback another weapon, and they're trying to win the Super Bowl. That would be viewed as a good move to add a running back to those caliber offenses that are really missing running backs. And that's kind of where we were. Once DeAndre Swift signs with Chicago, we needed a running back.
Yeah, but they weren't. And I kind of realized this during the season. They weren't going to re-sign Swift. They weren't. Because would you trade Swift for a third or fourth round pick, which is what you're going to get as a compensatory pick? They knew that when they took him on for that
they
one.
want the pick back.
Yeah, because now they're going to get a good pick for a running back that you would, if you wanted to trade him, you would never get that for him. So they knew that was going to happen. They knew they were going to go after another running back, and they do have the money.
I just look at every time over the last 25 years that they have done things that are not normal. When they've made a big splash or they've done stuff that I said, well, that doesn't seem like them. It just never seems to work out. It seems to be an indicator of worse things to come. Again, I think he is a great player. I also think he's a high-character guy. Every interview that we've ever done with him in New York, he's been great. He's honest. He works hard. He's a good locker room guy. Everybody on the Giants was upset that, not a negative on Daniel Jones, but was upset that Saquon didn't get paid and Daniel Jones didn't. All of those things are good. I think he could be a good player for sure. But when I think about the times in the past when they've done these sorts of things, it feels like a Band-Aid. It doesn't feel like addressing whatever the issue is.
Well, they're addressing the quarterback issue because they hope these kind of things make Jalen Hurts has got to have a better year. I'm not going to say a great year, a better year. Otherwise, they realize they're in a little trouble.
Well, I do
And
think he
they're
has to
trying
have a
help
great
him.
year.
Well, he better be back in the elite conversation if
He
with all
has
this
to be.
And, let me address the Josh Sweat thing too. Josh Sweat doesn't understand that the season's 17 games long. After 9 games, is he still on the team? Is he still on the team?
You did this with Slay last year, too. It's the exact same thing.
And the guy they
make
just
a
signed
play,
doesn't even play half the games. Doesn't even play half the
That's a good
snaps.
point,
Like,
Boss
what are we
Mike.
talking about?
Well, Josh Sweat's done.
Or you're just basically saying Josh Sweat is out.
He's out. That's why they're getting rid of him.
But don't you think that's a mistake? He's
No.
27 years old. He's a year off from the Pro Bowl. He's at an incredibly important position, and we'll see what they get from him. But from the way you're
Pro Bowl's a
talking,
joke. I mean, let's be honest.
well, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's never even made a Pro Bowl, so they just gave
It's
him
a
a lot of
joke,
money.
but it's a joke.
Well, it's not a joke. I mean, you get like it
Damn
is.
sure it wasn't a joke
it
when
is-
I made it.
It is sure. It's an
Well,
indication.
that was back when men
They're not
were
even
men.
playing football now.
It's flag football, Elliot.
Yeah. I just don't see the rationale in letting Josh go for either nothing or a low-level asset, unless you think he's a negative, like in the locker room.
It's not a negative, but he's a negative because he didn't have one sack
He's a
the
negative on
last
the field.
8 games. That's
But the whole
exact-
team was bad the last 8 games.
I know,
so
but
why
he's
is
still
only
got
Josh
not for
paying
the
that?
last 8 games.
What?
I mean, there's some guys that played well in those last 8 games.
Who? Yeah.
Well, first of all, in the Seattle game, until they choked on that last
Yeah,
drive.
the defense wasn't bad in that game.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now Josh was on the defense for what?
Yeah, he wasn't hurt.
yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything.
Okay. Is the Saquon signing the best thing for the Eagles or is the best thing for Jalen, Howard?
I think it's both. I mean, you can use that answer, but it does help Jalen Hurts if he breaks himself away from the Vanity Fair Oscar party.
I know.
It's just.
Oh, man, hanging out with King
that was
James.
disappointing. That was disappointing.
Oh, man, my man, he looked good, though, man.
We finally got the goatee back.
Thank God for that, but he looked good.
All I
Look good.
with the weapons that he has on this team. Look, Brock Purdy was the number 1 rated quarterback in the NFL last year.
Brock Jalen.
Number 1 rated quarterback in the NFL, ended up in the Super Bowl. If Saquon Barkley is as good as we're saying that he's going to be, with A.J. Brown, with Devonta Smith, with Dallas Goedert, with even missing Jason Kelce, we expect to be a good offensive line. He has to be elite next year.
Yep.
There's no question. If the last pick in the NFL draft can be the number 1 in quarterback rating, number 1 in QBR, end up in the Super Bowl, all those things, I don't want to hear any excuse about anything. There are so many excuses made for Jalen Hurts. He doesn't just have to be good. No. He has to be top 3. He has to be in the MVP conversation. He
Top
has to
3?
be. He has to. Who has more weapons than him in the entire league?
He also has a top
Nobody,
5 contract at the position.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
You know,
He has
I
to
just
be.
want to see him get close to what he was.
No,
the year
he needs to be
before.
top 5. He needs to be top 5.
Stop.
Not with that amount of weapons. What are you talking about?
Then what are they doing with him?
Do you
What are
think?
we doing?
Do you think
Well, you
that?
got-
Nobody
gotta
has this
give him
amount of
one more
weapons
year.
on offense. Nobody.
Okay, well, and it'll be really, really, really disappointing if he's not.
Yeah, get ready for a new
Very
quarterback
good.
in 2025.
Yeah.
Andy's in Deptford. What's happening, Andy?
Oh, here we go.
Hello, guys. How's everybody doing?
What up, Andy?
What's up, Andy?
Yo, Elliot, man, what's the beef with you, CJ, GJ? Like, what did he do? Sit you on an interview in the locker room or something?
It's
like,
no
you just
beef.
spitting straight hot garbage
What have
about
I
him, my
said that's
man.
not true? He misses half the games. He misses tackles, and he's not that great in coverage.
But you just
tough.
said that he didn't make the
Other
team
than that, he's a
better
great
earlier.
guy.
Like, what the hell are you talking about,
I don't
man?
know how much better he makes the team. The
What are you?
Eagles-
Well, first of all, Reed Blankenship, like, man, we all fall in love with the white undrafted safety. John Considine couldn't play, and your news alert. Reed Blankenship cannot play. He's a liability out there.
I don't disagree with you on
He's a
that.
special team player at best.
What's that have
So
to
when
do
you
with
get
Chauncey?
defense
That a
defense
shot
in
at
there,
special teams.
obviously you upgrade the defense because you get that stiff out there that can't play.
Yeah,
So
but
what are you
being
talking about? How
better
would
than
they
being,
do
being better than Reed Blankenship isn't the bar to get a 3-year deal. Like, yes, you're right.
I'm not
he
saying
is better.
that, but my point
That is what you're saying.
Reed Blankenship shouldn't have been in there starting, period. He's not an NFL starter, in my opinion.
So, I mean, we
So-
could go back and forth on that, but the bottom line is it isn't about replacing Reed. When you're in free agency, it's about finding great players. That's why they tried to sign Xavier McKinney. They missed out on him. Chauncey is not as good as Xavier McKinney.
Well, he's more versatile. So, he's more versatile.
The versatile thing, I think, is so overrated.
Oh, that's not
Wait a
overrated.
minute. does he have more career picks than Xavier McKinney?
He does.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, just from you're a stats guy. We all know you like to take stats during practice. When guys are running around in shorts and t-shirts and
Hey,
helmets.
Elliot, you better step this up. Andy's winning.
Andy's not winning at all.
From a stats guy's perspective, right? His
All right.
stats
All right,
are
so-
way
all right,
better
you
than
want
Xavier
stats. You want
McKinney,
stats.
and we got him for cheaper. So what are you talking
He
about?
doesn't play in half the games. He misses almost a tackle a game, and he's poor in coverage. There's some stats
Come
for you.
on, man.
It's a
Because he
fact.
got hurt last year, he don't play in half the games.
Yes,
Like,
that's
what are you
exactly
talking
why.
about?
Yeah, I'm saying that he
And
only
he's
played 2
versatile.
games last
So
year.
we lose our nickel cornerback. We may be able to bump him down to nickel, or he can play up. He can play safety.
So
I
he's a
mean,
great
like,
backup nickel.
come on, man.
Well,
Don't lose steam,
I'm
Andy.
saying, like,
don't lose
again,
steam,
like,
Andy.
yes,
Hang
Chauncey-
there.
Get him.
You
Get him.
kidding me?
Chauncey-
You kidding me?
Chauncey-
And I'm the same guy that wants to bring Justin Fields on here. Like,
Well, you clearly haven't been listening,
You
'cause
don't know
I'm
what
saying
the
no.
hell you talk about when it comes to football.
I just think you're wrong about Chauncey Gardner. He's an average to above average player.
And you know what? The whole panel on there thinks you're wrong, and I think you're wrong too. So
That's fine.
I mean, maybe you're the.
Well,
maybe
I don't-
You're the
I
one
don't
that
think
has
he's
to come
wrong,
in
Andy.
this argument.
I don't think he's wrong.
appreciate it.
He's above average at
Yeah,
his
he's above
position.
average. I agree.
Okay, well, who do they have on the team that was even average?
So I'm not saying he's not better than the players on the roster.
Okay, and
but
that's
I'm-
what you're trying to do
No,
is
but-
improve your team.
But what I am saying is he is not like a slam dunk, great free agent signing that's going to come in and fix an issue. Yes, they signed him, and he's better than Reed Blankenship. But that doesn't mean that he's going to come in next year and fix a major problem.
But he's also, here's the other
It
thing.
makes him better at that position.
He also doesn't take up as much cap space and cost you as much as the other kid does. It's not
McKinney,
like
you're talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
And the
Too
difference between the two isn't that great. So whatever
So we
you make,
just disagree on that.
well, that's fine.
Yeah, I know.
But there's other than money, there's nothing else that supports that. There's no stats that McKinney has that are tangible that are better than CJ Like CJ has been around the football much more. He's a much more versatile player that helps you in the run game also. So you can do more with him. And the idea about him missing half the games, last year is the first year he missed significant time. The other years he missed 3 games. Here he missed 4 games in 1 year. Like when you play the brand of football he does, you may miss a game or 2 out of 17. Last year's the first time he missed significant time. And by the way, McKinney, in 2 of the 4 years he's played, he's missed half the season. 1 year he missed 10 games, and the other year he missed 8. So that's in 2 years out of the 4 that he's played.
Well, McKinney got like 3 times as much money. So I think
Well,
the league has spoken as to who's the better
but
player.
no, you're not listening to
What
what I'm
does that
saying.
mean? What does
he's-
that mean?
No,
What do you think
Elliot,
it means? It means the
hold
league
on, hold on.
values him more.
Elliot, what I'm telling you is the difference between the 2 players isn't worth the money in difference. In other words, McKinney may be a slightly better player, but for $30 less million, you're getting pretty much, if he's a 9, then CJ's a 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's not worth $30 million.
I think if McKinney's a 9, CJ is like a 5. Or
See,
a
that's
6.
where you're wrong at.
Well, the numbers back me up.
What
Like-
numbers?
Well, okay, Pro Football Focus.
PFF,
yeah.
Oh, Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
numbers?
check
People,
that
yeah,
out.
people, all right,
Not
I'm not gonna
interception,
stop
not
it.
interception,
People
not
love to
pass
bring it
show.
up
Hold
when
on.
it's a good stat.
Hold on.
McKinney
No,
was
you're
number
the only
one
one that
in
brings it
That's
up.
not
Yeah,
true.
you.
That's not
What
true.
numbers? Not interceptions, not pass defenses.
I'm gonna tell you.
Not tackles for losses,
Right.
not sacks.
Yep.
So what
Well,
numbers are you talking about?
I don't know if that all that is true, but
Well,
look,
I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
okay, I'm just saying I haven't.
I
seen
mean,
the
that means
numbers.
I've looked at the stats
Right,
already.
I got you. So McKinney was ranked number 1 in coverage last year. Chauncey was 60.
He only played 2 games.
In the year before with the Eagles, he was 66. Like, the Eagles told you a year ago he's not that good when they let him walk for 1 year, $8 million.
No, that wasn't the reason they let him walk.
Why'd they
you
let
know,
him walk?
see, since I'm the
Go ahead. Well,
WIP
tell me.
Insider of the year.
You are.
Insider of
Tell
the
me-
year.
Tell me
okay,
why.
because he was a little nutty.
Great.
Oh,
That's
great.
even
The locker
better.
room's fine. That's
but-
awesome.
Okay.
You
but
just said the reason they're getting rid of Sweat is because he's a problem.
he said he didn't show up.
I'm saying
and
last-
my point
last that
was
was the problem.
he wanted too much money, and they weren't going to pay it. They had to keep an eye on him all the time because he was nutty.
So then why are they bringing him back to a locker room that's already combustible?
Because he, I believe, has been spoken to, understands the
Okay.
dynamics. Okay, we'll see how well he plays, okay, Elliot?
Yeah. All
and
right.
then you can come around with all
That's
your
right.
nonsense.
215-592-9494 is how you get it. It's a combative hour here on the
knew it
Birds
would
Downhill.
be. You knew it would be.
Always is going to be. On the other side, we'll throw another
Joke.
match into the fire. Justin Fields should the Eagles go after him.
Yes.
That's coming up next on the afternoon show, live from McGurk's in the Birds Town Hall.
That's on me. Oh, hey, if you know me, you
HD1 Philadelphia, live from the Tasty Cake Studios. Always live on the free Odyssey app. This is the afternoon show. Brought to you by Guida Door and Window. Call 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit GoGuida.com. Sports Radio 94 WIP.
Welcome back. It is the afternoon show. Live from McGurk's in Horsham at the Birds Town Hall, presented by NovaCare Rehabilitation. Elliott Shore Park's live from the Surfside Free Agency desk. Side question today brought to you by Mark's Jewelers. It's engagement season. Shop the home team at Mark's Jewelers with diamond engagement rings for every budget online, marks-jewelers.com. Ike and I just had a very interesting experience in the bathroom. It's like a damn sporting event. You know?
Pause.
Nobody.
Your pauses. We got to work on it.
Jack, did you
Sporting
need
event
help?
in the bathroom? What are you talking about?
Jack, did you need help?
Dude, I did get a little stage fright. You ever get stage fright?
Yes.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to admit, but if
That's why I do it on the radio.
if somebody stands right next to me at the urinal, I have to. Sometimes I'll act like I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I'm not, just to wait for them to leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if they stay too long, I'll just have to give up on it. Wash my hands, even though I didn't go
Just
to the bathroom.
get out.
Just
Yeah,
get out
just
and
get
then go
out.
back a
Yeah.
different time.
It's
tough.
It's strategic for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. The longer you stand there, the more awkward it is.
Do you want to know a trick I have?
How much time do you give it? A minute?
Well, a minute's a long time.
I know. I'm not
brother.
a long.
Yeah.
I'm a long bathroom guy.
Sometimes I will imagine a giant fountain soda with condensation around the side
Now, do you close your eyes?
pouring out. Yes.
See, that's even weirder.
What is going on with y'all? Use the bathroom and get the hell out of here.
No, but you never get stage fright?
It's difficult, man.
No, I don't get stage.
Yes, you're a confident man.
We
Yeah.
need the Eagles to make a move.
How's the free agency that's going?
Exactly,
Yeah.
Elliot, yes.
Not much going on with the
Well,
Eagles.
Mike Williams.
Right now,
Mike
yeah.
Williams tweeted that he wants to go play for a winning quarterback. So, looks like things were going well out.
Oh, wow.
in Los Angeles.
What do you think? He and Justin Herbert didn't get along?
I would say so. Speaking of another quarterback, Spike, what do you think about the idea of bringing Justin Fields in here?
So for the chaos, I would love it. But the only way that you bring Justin Fields in here is if you think there is any chance that he's better than Jalen Hurts. And
Correct.
I just don't think. I think it is worth the chaos as an organization if you think there is a chance in a year or 2 years that Justin Fields is the quarterback of the football team. I think it is worth a gamble, especially because nobody else wants him. You probably get him at a reasonable price. The problem is, I just don't think he is. He's more athletic than Jalen is, faster than Jalen, but he's a worse passer. And I just can't imagine a world in the NFL in which you have what you think is a subpar passer and going and winning a Super Bowl with him. So while I get it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it, and I would love to say yes, really all you're doing is you're saying to yourself, okay, if we need him for 3 games, we have a good backup. But honestly, Gardner Minshew was fine
He
as a
played pretty
backup.
good in 2 of the games.
Ryan Tannehill is fine as a backup. You're not winning a If Jalen Hurts goes down for the season, you're not winning a Super Bowl with Justin Fields. So, unfortunately, I would say no.
Bad, boring take.
I know.
Howard, you are officially the insider of the year. A lot of the biggest insiders in the sport have been linking the Eagles to Justin Fields. Not a report, just saying.
Daniel Jeremiah, right?
Daniel Jeremiah,
Mike
Albert
Lombardi.
Breer, Mike
Mike
Lombardi.
Lombardi.
Yeah, not some clown, a real guy.
Well,
Yeah.
Mike Lombardi just kind of threw it out.
Yeah,
there.
it felt like an educated guess, though, Howard.
Yeah.
No, he threw it out there. It's not social and it's not media.
Okay, but
and
it is a
that's-
podcast. Do you do you think there is a chance they would do it? Would you be shocked if they did it?
If Jalen Hurts has a serious injury, and that's not going to happen because they're not playing, unlike, God forbid.
So
But
would you be shocked
if they sign him?
if
Yes.
they traded for him?
Yes.
You'd be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I would just.
They drafted Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's
It
the
would
same
be
thing.
no good for both of them, especially Justin Fields. Why is he going to come here when he doesn't have a chance to be a starter?
Because nobody wants him to be a starter. So he's going to have to get
No, but
real, and
but-
he's going to have to go somewhere where he's going to have to try to win a job.
if Jalen
Okay,
were
but
to
he's
go
not
down,
going to
this
win
is a
the
great
job
spot.
here. He's not going to win the job here.
Let me ask you, at some point last year, again, I don't want them to trade for him, but you're saying that you would be shocked. 4 years ago, in the second round of the draft, they took Jalen Hurts, and you insisted up and down that he wasn't going to be the starter. It had nothing to do with Carson Wentz, yada, yada, yada. They did that. It ended up being bad for Carson Wentz, and they ended up having a starter after that. I guess my point is,
I did for him.
I remember everything that you said. Trust me. You were Mr. Carson. I was around here for that.
When you were a
me
kid,
and
you
you.
didn't remember squat.
At least that's what you think.
Yeah, I remember plenty. I remember a lot of defense of a certain quarterback that was here, but I just don't know how you could be shocked after they took Hurts. What is different about this than what they did there?
Well, they needed
Carson-
somebody to protect themselves against, and actually Howie thought he could play. There was
that's not what you said at the time.
And Wentz got injured in the last game.
What's that?
Wentz got injured, remember?
Yeah, that's right. So,
Just trying
whatever
to
the
help,
case,
trying to help out my fellow.
whatever the
Okay.
case, Howie thought he could play.
Do you think Jalen's on
help him
the
out.
Do you think Jalen's on the hot seat going into next year?
Yeah, sure he is.
Huh?
Well, from what aspect, though?
Well, he's got to have a good season, otherwise it might be another quarterback the following year.
That's what
Which
I'm
is
asking.
why you go get Justin Fields.
That would
Because
be a
he's-
reason why they would do it.
But he's not good enough to be a starter in the NFL. And
But is he
many
good enough to be a
people-
backup for 3 games?
For
Well, you
$4
can
million,
get-
by
Hey,
the way.
what? Gardner Minshew was a backup.
No,
So-
listen, and now he's a starter.
Yeah,
no,
that's
listen,
right.
no. All I'm saying, I'm with you. I wouldn't do it. It certainly would not shock me if the Eagles did it.
Wouldn't shock me
Are
at
you
all.
kidding me?
It feels like the most Eagles move
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah, it would not
It
shock
would
me.
start
value.
an unbelievable dynamic of the Elliots of the world.
But you defended
The training
that
camp
4
stance,
years ago.
yeah.
You
It's a
defended that
different-
dynamic.
It was a different circumstance.
What is different?
Well, Jalen Hurts is not hurt.
They
Well, he's
did
been
not
hurt every year,
draft
though.
Jalen Hurts because Carson Wentz got hurt. That is not true. You said over and over again in 2020 when they
Okay,
took
here's the
No,
difference.
let me finish my sentence. You said over and over again in 2020 when they drafted Jalen Hurts that it had nothing to do with Carson Wentz. That's what you said.
I don't remember what I said. but-
I remember you saying it. We have
You
these
don't
fights
remember.
You ordered the
over
code
and
red.
over again.
Hey, here's the bottom line.
It's like
They
I'm
thought
just saying.
Jalen Hurts could be a good NFL quarterback. I don't believe most people, starting quarterback, I don't believe most people in the NFL think Justin Fields can be a good starting quarterback.
That is fair.
So why even take that chance? Why even waste anything on it?
I mean, look, Justin Fields is in a bad place in Chicago. And I agree with you that obviously the market is showing that teams are not trying to trade for Justin Fields, so he's not going to get a starting job. But if you put Justin Fields on the Eagles, he's way better than he is in Chicago.
Yes.
But he's not good enough to.
Jalen Hurts was on the Eagles last year, and he was
Right,
terrible for the
right.
last 7 games. So, I mean, just
Well,
because
yeah,
he's
and he
on
was-
the Eagles doesn't
And he
mean...
took him to the Super Bowl the year before.
Well, that was 2 years ago. There are a lot of
I know.
quarterbacks.
Hey,
in
listen.
there are a lot of quarterbacks in the history of the NFL who have one really good year.
I
For,
know.
for what it's
happens.
worth,
I got
Justin
it.
Fields probably has better measurables than Jalen.
He was
Hurts.
drafted way higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that that's the end all be all.
I'm just
but he
saying, a
was.
stronger
Yeah.
arm, a better athlete. He's faster. Like,
Yes. Are you
Not-
talking yourself into it?
No. Listen, I know what this stuff would bring. So I'm kind of with you from that standpoint. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles did it. Because it would be, whether they would admit it or not initially, but it certainly would be some sort of a window into what their thinking is about Jalen.
It would have to
Moving
be.
forward, yes.
It would have
I
to
don't
be.
know-
If
I
for
don't know
no,
how-
if for no other reason that they would be risking.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I was listening on my
You
way
go
up here.
get Jalen Hurts. I mean, you go get
Justin Fields.
Fields because you think there's a potential bargain that you're getting. In other words, it's part insurance, it's a low price that you're paying for him, and if things don't go well with Jalen from a production standpoint, you still have a young quarterback here that you can develop. It's kind of what Dallas did with Trey Lance over there. I mean, that's part of the reason why they're not giving Dak an extension, because they're like, dude, you don't win next year, we can lose with Trey
Wait a
Lance.
minute, isn't Dak going to make $60 million this year?
Against, that's what he's going to count against the cap, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about an extension.
Well, the hell with him in an extension.
Oh, I agree.
He's had a lot of years to try to prove that
I
he's
agree.
other than a
No,
choke.
what I'm
He's
saying
proven
is,
more than Jalen Hurts.
What I'm saying is that Jerry may have traded for a potential replacement
To him, yeah.
to Dak Prescott is what I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Over there at the Surfside or on the beach, whatever desk.
Surfside iced tea and vodka.
the
for
official
you.
cocktail of Philly
don't
sports.
Yeah,
disrespect
get it right.
stateside.
Yeah.
Lots of people are enjoying Surfsides right now.
Yeah.
Drink
Okay,
special
all
from 4
right,
to
Elliot,
6.
check these stats for me.
I will.
If
you know
will.
I love them.
How many playoffs wins does Jalen Hurts have compared to Dak Prescott?
2 versus 2?
Yeah,
I
2
think
to
it's
2.
2-2.
And
yeah.
how many more years has Dak the Choke played?
Oh, well, yeah. He's been-
Okay, so
Dak's been in the
don't
league,
give
what,
me
8
Dak
years?
Prescott didn't do it.
If I had to win a playoff game, I'll wait till I get back.
OG Wade is in Chester. What's happening, OG?
What's up, fellas? How we doing today?
OG.
I just want to straighten Spike out on something real quick because he just
Well, good luck.
keeps statting this out. And I heard a lot of people keep saying it, that Jalen Hurts played terrible in his last 7 games, right? That's what everybody keeps saying. All right, a part of that last 7 games was Buffalo, where we scored 37 points and won. So, Spike, was that a bad game?
Okay, 6 games. There, we're done.
Okay. How about,
And the playoff game. Wait a minute. No, 6 regular season and the playoff game. No. 6 regular season games and the playoff game is 7, yes?
Let me go. Let me work. I'm not done.
Okay.
How about the Arizona game where we scored 31 points?
Dude, did you
And
watch
choked
the
at the end.
games last year?
Hold on.
Did
Just
you watch
answer
the
the
games
damn
last
question.
year? Did you
He
watch?
doesn't watch the game.
Okay.
No.
Okay. How about the New York Giants game where we scored 33? I want to tell you, our defense gave up 34 against Buffalo, 42 against San Fran, 33 against Dallas, 20 against Seattle, 25 against the Giants, 35 against the Arizona Cardinals, and 27 against the damn Giants. So who the hell played bad?
Wait a minute.
last year?
When the defense
In
is
last
on the
6 games?
field, I'm not defending the defense last year, but the offense was a way bigger problem in the final part of the year than the defense was. Anyone who watched the games could tell you that. And if you have a compromised defense, if your offense, which by the way, the previous year ran all over everybody, could hold the ball, could sustain drives, all of a sudden can't sustain drives, your iffy defense looks worse. There is no offense that I've watched. Wade, there is no offense that I've watched as an Eagles fan in my life have that many weapons and perform that poorly for that long a stretch of time. And that's just a fact. And if there was any other quarterback, other quarterback that performed that way with that many weapons, you would crush them. It's the truth.
Like, here's the truth of the matter, okay? Jalen Hurts had the toughest schedule last year.
Oh, my God.
He's won 11 of those games, right? 6 of those games was against teams with winning records. He also went 6 games coming back from 10 down, all right, at halftime. That's the only quarterback in the NFL that did that. So don't give me that crap that any other quarterback would have did this.
They got run off the field by the Bucs in the playoffs. Who was the quarterback at that time? Who was the quarterback?
Brown and with Jalen Hurts with a bum finger. Yeah, that's real nice, Spike.
Do you have a whole book full of excuses for him?
No, what I have for you is.
Did he play well last year? Do you think he played well enough last year?
And you wear your little Metallica T-shirts and every damn thing. And think
Iron
you're smarter
Maiden.
than-
It was Iron Maiden.
Yeah. My bad.
Grow up, man. Grow up. If you want to insult my clothes, then show up here and I can look at you and I can insult
He
you.
was here earlier. OG, have you updated your jacket that you have from Hurts to Fields yet, or what?
Hey, I'll break your jaw, Jack. Seriously. Yeah, I'll break your damn jaw.
And Wilt never
That-
scored 100 points in a
right.
game.
And I agree with, and that's the only thing.
He agrees with
me
us
and
on that, Spike.
No, I thought he was yelling. No, you're talking about it.
Appreciate it, OG. Yeah, no, he's with us.
Okay, I thought he was anti.
There's dozens of us.
Okay,
It's
all right,
growing. It's a
okay.
growing movement.
Sorry, OJ Weir.
By the way,
Sorry, OJ.
Lou in the Northeast has showed up wearing his
Wearing his ESP mask. I love
Yeah,
it.
with
Yeah,
the chain too. Yeah. It's,
Wait, why is that an ESP mask?
So a couple years ago, we were looking for the best.
you should play the drop.
Yeah, I hope that Buzz can find it.
He can't find it.
It's right on the board, but regardless, that's a lot of work for our producers. But so
Maybe he can do it into the mic.
we were looking for the best impression to get into the Marks and Reese Fantasy League, and Lou called in the show and he said, "I have a great impression of ESP." And then he just did a donkey noise into the
You really have to
microphone.
hear it. It's a great drop.
One of the best, yeah.
That's awesome. And he's got a Surfside T-shirt.
And he's got
does.
surf. He knows the branding. He knows
Yeah.
the branding. Howard, Do you think the edge rushers week 1 are going to be Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith, or is that going to be it for the edge rushers?
Yeah, because you don't know what is going to happen to both Sweat and Reddick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think it's likely that week 1 it's going to be Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith as your starting edge rushers heading into week 1?
I think Reddick's going to be here. I still give him a 50-50 chance because I don't think another team's going to pay him what he wants, and thus they're not going to make team's not going to want to make a trade if he's going to be unhappy there with that contract too. I think he's just going to have to play on this contract, play for it, and then hey, the cap's going to go up a little bit next year, so we'll get more money next year. No, he's just got to.
Why are they getting rid of Sweat?
Because he doesn't. I haven't found him yet. There was a missing persons report at the end of the season for him. So, hey, listen, you can't just throw him out there and not be effective for half the season. It was basically half the season.
Yeah, but it was one bad half. I mean, he was really good the year before. He's a Pro Bowler.
I don't care if they make the Pro
He's 26. I mean, Reddick's heading into his age 30
I'm telling
season.
you, I don't know what it is, but he has.
Well, and he benefited from all the talent that was around him in 22.
Yeah, he's had dead spots in his career during a season.
There's our backup right there on the screen, Jimmy G.
I would sign Jimmy
A
G.
winner into the locker
Yeah.
room.
I'd
That
take
guy's a
Jimmy
winner.
G.
Yeah,
You could trust
absolutely.
him in a playoff game.
He gets hurt coming to the stadium.
That's
So
all
what?
right. He's
Well,
backup.
he's
Or not
also
rather play a whole lot.
He's also suspended for 4 games for PEDs, which is
Oh,
not,
yeah,
not
that
ideal,
helps.
but Tanner McKee can back up for those.
Tannehill or Jimmy G? Who would you rather have?
Tannehill.
Yeah,
I'd rather have Jimmy G.
I'd rather have Jimmy G.
Winner.
Yeah, good looking. He is.
New
Handsome
popular
guy.
in the locker
Doesn't
room.
matter.
care how he looks.
Doesn't matter.
He is. I tell you, talk about a guy that's stolen money. He has been stealing money in the NFL.
Jimmy G?
Yes.
Look at his
At least he
stats.
went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's better than you think he is.
You know
He's
what?
had a better career than you think he is. He's got better career stats than Jalen Hurts. He does. I'm not saying he does. He just does. I'm not saying
You're not
he should be
saying
the
he's better than
starter.
Jalen
I'm not
Hurts,
saying,
yeah.
but Jimmy Garoppolo has been a better player than you're giving him credit for. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
He's okay. That's all he is okay. Okay.
Howard, what's the before we let you get out of here? What's the plan at linebacker, and what do you think is kind of next year this offseason?
I still think. I mean, they're still working on it, and I still think they're going to sign somebody.
I hope they're still
And
working
I
on
don't
it.
think there's going to be. They're not going to. I would be very, very, very surprised if they draft a linebacker this year.
Like at all?
Well, you get to the 6th or 7th round.
No.
you might take a
Oh,
shot.
they're drafting a linebacker.
We're taking
before the
Trotter
end.
Jr. in the second
So
round.
stop being a
Wait a
hater.
minute. No, listen. Hey,
We
listen,
had to
I like
educate you
Trotter.
about running backs.
Yep.
Next is the
No,
linebacker
you didn't
position.
educate me at all. You know, it's learning from the kid sitting in the back of the class with the dunce cap.
Is that about me?
Yeah, I think so.
It could be me. To
No,
be fair.
it's
Could be
it's
me,
not,
I guess.
It's not, it's not happening.
Just not.
No,
What do you mean it's not
no
happening?
linebacker at all?
We're getting Jeremiah Trotter
the
Jr.
Draft. I offered to bet Ike $100, and I'll make it for charity that
Nobody
they don't
wants
draft.
$100.
With inflation.
Yeah, you kidding me? We need to go up to 1,000 or 2.
Okay,
Oh.
let's make it 1,000.
All right, well, go ahead.
Okay, 1,000 for charity.
For
All
charity.
And you say the Eagles draft Jeremiah Trotter.
Yes.
Okay, and I say they do not.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
$1,000
if-
for
I think
charity.
Ike should get
Yes.
odds here. But
Huh?
No
you
odds.
should get odds.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as he donates the money, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, all right.
And as long, wait a minute. You know, if you lose, you donate the money.
No, if I lose, you donate the money.
No. See, you got no, cojones.
I got no stones.
Stones.
He should. It should be like 3-1.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the
I'm
chan-
not kidding. He told me, he flat out told me they're going to draft him. So,
Well,
okay,
you
so
told me they're not.
Okay, so I'm
How
willing
do you
to
know they're not?
I'm telling you.
Stop,
And I'm
no,
willing to bet. I'm willing to bet you.
Are you
How's
betting
that?
against Trot?
No, I love Trot.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm betting on reality.
Why?
Because I want to kick your ass and I want to see you donate $1,000
Well, I can do that
to
without
my,
the bet.
Well, yeah, but do it to my page on the Eagles Autism.
No, because I want you to do it to my page on the Eagles Autism.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Whoever loses
research off.
donates to the other page. $1,000 would be more than you raised for your whole.
Oh, now we're taking charity shots. Whip it out, Howard.
You do have more ER visits from the autism child than he has, though.
We'll get Steiny on it. 215-592-9494
Nobody.
is you and your good friend Steiny. Coming up next, Howard, thanks for the time, buddy. Insider of the Year. Congratulations, although you ruined Trot or Not, so you're not allowed back on the show.
No, I didn't ruin it.
You did ruin it!
No, I didn't.
Trot or Not! Trot or Not!
That's
Trot
not
or Not! All right. Coming up next,
Okay.
Robbie.
So we don't have a bet, right, Ike?
No, you
we
got
don't
to bet.
have-
No,
we don't have
he said it. It's on record.
No,
$1,000
Stonies.
into Jack Fritz's wallet. Robbie's coming up next. We got the last hour here at the Birds Town Hall, live from McGurk's Pub and Grill in Horsham, where you can feel the brotherly love and the father-son love
right over
on
there.
Sports Radio 94 WIP.
Got excited. Hey, join us down here at McGurk.